Verse 5 of Psalm 31 is a pretty well-known verse. It's quoted by Stephen in the book of Acts. It's used twice in Peter's writings, and it's quoted also by Jesus as he's hanging on the cross. You probably recognize it. Into your hands I commit my spirit. It was just about the dying breath from Jesus, his last exhale. Almost there, as it was nearly finished. Placed everything he had, everything he was, into the hands of his Father. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. So if Jesus is saying that, it means he was in a really bad place, because he had nothing left. No strength, no energy, no life. And whatever little bit he had, it was just about to leave him. But still, at the same time, if you would have asked Jesus, he would have told you that he considered himself to be in a really good place at that moment, because he was keeping a promise for you. He was using everything he had, and everything he was, and everything he could merit, and everything that he could earn for your benefit. He was loving you. And nothing makes him happier than to love you. Which means that since he has loved you, you're in a really good place. Because Jesus loves you. Even if sometimes you're in a really bad place, like Jesus was, you're still in a good place, even if you're sometimes in a bad place. There's a bedtime prayer that my family would say pretty frequently as I was growing up. Maybe some of you know it. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. That last part, eventually I got to an age where I started thinking about it. If I should die before I wake, that's not a happy thought. But that's a real thought for everybody at some point in their life. And so many, they know when they are going to die, like Jesus did. And so they anticipate it coming. And my parents taught that to me as a bedtime prayer, as I'm supposed to be laying my head down and feeling all at peace and feeling like everything's going to be okay. And they weren't doing me a disservice at all by teaching me that prayer. And if your parents taught you it too, they didn't do you a disservice either. They were acknowledging the reality of sometimes being in a really hard place. And I don't know if there's a harder place to be than when we are face to face with death. But of also at the same time, remembering that even when we're in a really hard place, we're still in a really good place. Because Jesus loves us. Because Jesus loved us. Because Jesus loves you. Because Jesus loved you. As confidently as Jesus committed all he was and all he had to the care of his Father in heaven, we can do the same thing. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Rest well tonight, my friends.